He was wonderful. He was... Oh, where is he? Oh, he was looking around. Yeah. And we had a little conversation while he was sitting up here. He said, "Can you believe this?" I said, "What?" He said, "All of these people are here for me." I said, "I can believe that. You know, they're all here for me too." And he said, "I believe it." Puppies already know something that we forget. The world is entirely there for them. All they have to do is walk over and say, "Can I sniff your life? Would you like a lick? I'll just lick you because you're there." We don't lick anybody. I'm sorry, I need some distance. Where are you from? You live where? Huh. What kind of work do you do? Not going to invite you to my house. I don't know how we get to that, but we have gotten to it with training, with education, with special understanding. I grew up in a family where my father was prejudiced. Anybody have a prejudiced family? The only way I discovered it was there wasn't anybody that was okay. Nobody. He was okay, but the other people were lesser. And I finally realized after there was nobody that was okay that maybe it was just not true. It was a good kind of prejudice to grow up with, because the kind of prejudice that makes sense is the kind you hold on to. It didn't make any sense. I said, "They can't all be bad." He said, "Oh, they could be." We walk around with that kind of fear and apprehension sometimes of our fellow brothers and sisters, and it helps us feel safe and superior, while at the same time creating a great distance between us in such a way that we can't enjoy our true spiritual nature. Our true spiritual nature is to be one, to know the oneness that we are, the goodness that we are, the goodness that we have is everywhere present all of the time, not just some of the time. And certainly not just when I'm in prayerful mode or sitting in the lotus position, which actually now I can't do. I can have a near lotus position, but that's it. It hurts. Yeah. As you get older, some things change. You make adjustments. But I haven't become less spiritual because I can't sit in that position anymore. I simply recognize my limitation in one area and appreciate people that can bend and twist, like this young woman here. I can't believe you can do that. You sit with your legs folded and sit on your feet. How can you do it? I used to do that. We'll be continuing to change. We'll be continuing to wake up to who we are and who we are becoming. And it won't be the same. And we need to step outside of the judgment of it all if we're going to ever be able to get our own good. The more we can celebrate the diversity in this world, the more diverse we become, the richer we become. One of the major things that attracted Judith and I to this church was the huge diversity of opinion and idea and of people. And we said, isn't this the model for a future civilization? Isn't this the example that we want to have alive everywhere in the world? Isn't this it? Yeah, it is. You're living and breathing examples of the kind of thing that we teach. Different shapes, different sizes, different colors, different backgrounds, different histories, different stories, different practices, sitting together as one. One voice. Can you remember? Can you remember you're good? Can you remember the power of the good that is in you? And can you remember to share it with another person? Can you go ahead and let someone else know how special they are and then leave and walk away and don't ask for something? I call it hit and run. Sharon, you're incredible. Thank you. I'm out of here. And Sharon says, what's he want? To hit and run. Deliver something good. Deliver something from your heart to another person, and don't look for something back. And don't even look back. Just move on. And watch what happens. It's happening in this community. You're doing some other incredible things that I just have to comment on, because walking from a place where people didn't volunteer the way you do, you volunteer to give your love in a way that nurtures the world. When you go out and work in our yards to make them a perfect yard, you're making a perfect yard for the world, because we don't live alone, and what we do does not operate independently of everyone else. What you do in the space that you hold for your spiritual life is holding a space for everyone on the planet. Right now, you're helping hold this planet together in a way that it desperately needs and wants. And you need to know that. You're not just sitting there occupying space. You're occupying spiritual space and delivering a message to the universe that it can work. that it can be all that it wants to be. And you're doing that in a way that is really, really wonderful. And I haven't seen anything quite like anyplace else. How this many people could come together and volunteer to do as many things as you do and do it lovingly is astonishingly beautiful and needs to be recognized. You are a world-class symphony, and there are no extra instruments. And if any one of you has been afraid to play, you need to get an instrument and be willing, because we'll teach you, we'll play with you, we'll support and encourage and empower you. We want your music. You're important. There are no extra people here. Not one of you is an extra. Not one of you has a consciousness that's unimportant or won't be missed if it's not here. That's important for you to get. In here, that who you are in here is all there is. It's as good as it gets. So this week I want you to make up some wonderful stories. The planet's perfect. Life is amazing. I am great. You are great. My life works wonderfully. I can hardly wait for the next part of my adventure. Now, if that's all true, it's the best story ever told. If it's not true, make it up. Head in the direction of the story you want to live in. Trust me, you're living in one now. Many of us are living in a story that is not so good, but maybe it'll get better in the future. It's a story of obstacles and struggle and strife and pain and suffering. Okay, if that story sells, then that's good, because you can make some money. But if it doesn't sell, give it up. You need a new story. My new story is, my pain ended yesterday. It's incredible. Oh, I still hurt from time to time, but my pain ended. My suffering went away. I don't know quite how it happened. It's a mystery. Our teaching is a mystery. And that's important. Think about it. Think about the story that you're living in. And could you highlight the parts that you like more and give more attention to those? Could you highlight the life that you want to have whenever it shows up and extend it until finally it's what your life just looks like? Some of us are on a trip. There's an uphill and a downhill. If you've been going uphill, there's a downhill. If there's a downhill, there'll be another uphill. It's okay. It doesn't make any difference. Give up the story about the uphill. Oh, my God. It's just an uphill. And there'll be another downhill. And you're a miracle in action. You're a divine expression of good. You're amazing. And so in that feeling and knowing, I want to end with a treatment. And I'd like you to go with me in time and space. And I'd like you to recognize that that one power, that enormously amazing divine power that is in you, that is in everything, flourishes, expresses, dynamically, wondrously, amazingly. It has its very being in you. You are the custodian of the very best there is. And the very best there is caring for you. So I am a divine expression of the good that I have always wanted. I am a divine expression of the most that could ever be. And I am awake today to my good. I am awake today to all the good that is around me. I am awake and I am in celebration of that good. And that celebration will not cease. I am love, I am light, I am joy, I am peace, and I remember my good. I know this is true. I feel it, I experience it, I allow it, and I invite it. And now I release this knowing into a universe that has always been there for me, that holds me more closely than I hold my dearest thought. And I let it go. And it comes back. And I say thank you. And we say together, and so it is. Thank you.